British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
From the Broadcast Center at BCIT's Burnaby Campus, this is All Talk Radio. You're listening to 1680 The Crow.
Good afternoon, I'm Emily Deneen, and here's your news update to 12:30. As the Canucks are entering the second round of playoffs, many Vancouver communities are holding viewing parties. Isabella Calisi tells us how business owner in New Westminsters are preparing for the upcoming parties.
New Westminster is going to set up an outdoor watch party at Hayek Square this Sunday, with plans to connect to the Anvil Center in the downtown core. Jennifer Mackey is the owner of Kelly O'Brien's, which is right next door to where the event is being held. Mackey says that she's excited for the business that the watch party will bring and doesn't have any concerns about roughhousers.
Because this was so last minute, logistically, I don't think there was any plans or any ability to plan ahead and have, kind of food and beverage and, alcohol and things like that, or a beer garden. So I think it's really going to be more of a family-friendly event, and I would hope that there wouldn't be any kind of ruckus that comes out of that.
Mackey says that they're heavily staffed on Canucks game days and are prepared to handle the influx of guests. Isabella Calisi, BCIT's The Crow.
Members of the Salish First Nations arranged a protest for the TMX tar sands pipeline. They say this pipeline increases the risk of a devastating spill which would affect wildlife. The Salish First Nations also say to worry about people and the planet before pipelines and profit. BCIT's engineering students are displaying innovation in a project expo. Reporter Jacob Fraser explains how the expo opens doors for more opportunities.
Today is the Engineering Project Expo at BCIT. Students have been working hard on their capstone projects since the beginning of their semester in January. The expo is a chance for students to display and demo their work, which was done in groups. Last year, there were 54 innovative projects on display across varying engineering programs, with over 350 people attending the event, including staff, industry partners, and alumni. Jacob Fraser, BCIT's The Crow.
Clint Malum, the president of London Drugs, has apologized for the cybersecurity incident that forced stores to close for over 1 week. He says that there's no evidence of any customer information being compromised. The company immediately shut down all of their stores in Western Canada when the attack was first noticed. Tuesday was the first day that all 79 of their stores reopened. Premier François Legault of Quebec is defending a new museum after First Peoples groups accused it of erasing their history. Legault made a comment saying that Quebec's history started when the French explorers arrived in the 16th century. They said that Legault's exclusion of First Peoples while creating the museum is similar to erasing their contributions to Quebec. Legault defended himself by saying that the museum is focusing on the history of French-speaking Quebecois. There's a trial in Winnipeg for a man who's been accused of first-degree murder. The Crown alleges the man targeted homeless Indigenous women. Steve Lambert of the Canadian Press explains what's going on in the trial.
The Crown alleges Jeremy Skibicki acted out of hatred, killed the women, and committed vile acts on their bodies. One woman's remains were found in a city landfill. The remains of 2 others are believed to be in a different landfill, but have not been found. Skibicki's lawyers say he admits to the killings, but should be found not criminally responsible because of a mental disorder. Experts are expected to testify on that issue in the coming days. Steve Lambert, The Canadian Press, Winnipeg.
An organizer of a pro-Palestine encampment at the University of Toronto is voicing her concerns about the university. Erin Mackey says that the university administrators are open to discussing the encampment.
They have all these other things that they want addressed, but they're not addressing the core issue, which is why we are here. We are here demanding divestment, and they're giving us the runaround, and we're calling them out. We're saying that that's not good enough. We're demanding that they listen to their students, that they listen to their faculty, that they listen to staff, they listen to the members of the UT community who are here, who will continue to be here, and stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine.
They say that April showers bring May flowers, and now's the time for them to bloom. With highs of 15 and lows of 7 overnight, it's capri and t-shirt weather. And then pull out your shorts and tank top for Friday, with its highs of 21. That's been your news update to 12:30. I'm Emily Deneen for BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
This is sports on 1680 The Crow.
Good afternoon, I'm Sophie Hansen, and here are your sports updates to 1240. The Vancouver Canucks are back in town to host the Edmonton Oilers for Game 1 of their second series in the NHL playoffs. The Canucks knocked out Nashville after 6 games, paving the way to an all-Canadian clash against the Oilers, who put away the LA Kings in 5 games. Tonight's game will mark the first playoff game between Edmonton and Vancouver since 1992, when the Oilers bested the Canucks in a 6-game set. Canucks coach Rick Tocchet says the team is ready, but worries that the Oilers' power play could be a challenge.
Their attack mentality is as good as in the league. They once they sniff something, it's there. Backdoor play, slot play, Bouchard one-timer, that can happen in one play. So you have to be ready for it. You got to pick your poison and give them one of hopefully the least dangerous play.
So far, the Vancouver Canucks have swept the regular season series 4 games to none. Now, good news for Canucks fans. Vancouver Mayor Ken Sim says the city will host viewing parties at Oak Meadows Park starting this Sunday for the Canucks Round 2 playoff series. The park can hold around 2,000 people and is located in South Cambie neighborhood, just a 15-minute drive away from Rogers Arena. Sim says there will be a, quote, cautious approach to potential Stanley Cup celebrations. Ian Tostenson, the CEO of the BC Restaurant and Food Service Association, says viewing parties for away games offer people a more controlled environment rather than inviting a large crowd downtown as we saw in 2011.
Big events like FIFA and big concerts and stuff, we're able to do that really well. I just worry that if we just kind of recklessly sort of go, let's throw some TVs up and invite 20,000 people on Georgia Street again. I just predict there's going to be trouble somewhere.
As the playoffs continue, Sim said the city would also look at Pacific National Exhibition as a venue to allow up to 6,000 fans to gather. The plans have been implemented to take the pressure off the downtown core and surrounding businesses. Sim also says the whole city wants to celebrate the team's success this year, and plenty of thought has been placed into this year's planning to ensure fans can enjoy the games safely. And in more hockey news, the Abbotsford Canucks are hosting a Game 3 tonight with a special celebration to honor the 30th anniversary of the 1994 team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals. The game will begin with a ceremonial puck drop that features past team players Kirk McLean, Dave Babich, and Jeff Courtnall. Additionally, the first 1,000 people will receive a free Abbotsford Canucks hat. Canada's Denis Shapovalov was ousted in the first round of the Italian Open this morning, falling to Italy's Luciano Didari. The Ontario native struggled with serving with 14 double faults and landing just 55% of his first serves. Didari is set to face Mariano Navone of Argentina on Friday. Shapovalov is ranked 126th in the world. And in other sports news, the New York Knicks will look to take a 2-0 series lead tonight over the Indiana Pacers. Fans will be packing Madison Square Garden in hopes of witnessing some history. Knicks point guard Jalen Brunson will be looking to pass Michael Jordan and Bernard King for consecutive 40-point games in the playoffs. Now to the Diamond, the Toronto Blue Jays are in Philadelphia today for the finale of 2-game series against the Phillies. Former Vancouver Canadian Davis Schneider doubled their lead in the 6th.
Into left field, that's a base hit. Jansen in to score. Bichette up to second, and another hit for Davis Schneider. It is 3-1.
The Blue Jays currently lead the Phillies 4-2 in the top of the 8th. The highly anticipated Paris Olympics is only a few months away, and the excitement is building in the southern France city of Marseille, where a ship carrying the Olympic torch arrived from Greece for the welcoming ceremony. The torch was lit in Greece last month before being sent to France, where over 1,000 police officers have been on high alert. French Olympic swimmer Florent Manodou became first Olympic torch carrier, making another milestone in the lead up to the Summer Games. That has been your sports updates to 1240. I'm Sophie Hansen, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.